Today I'm joined by James Bailey and we are going to be answering some questions. So I just put something on social media asking for some questions for James and I, and we're going to run through them. So we're going to do quick fire. We've got 6 questions about, well, all sorts of things actually.
Different aspects of the game.
So let me jump into the first one. The first question is a nice simple one to start with. Have you ever had a hole-in-one?
I've had one. It was in...
Hey, I'm one as well. There we go.
I had one in Spain. It was the 3rd hole at Guadalajara.
Oh God, that's a mouthful.
I know. And it was, I believe, it was about 167 yards, and it took one bounce and went straight in.
Nice. You topped me on that one. Mine was a rubbish hole-in-one. I hit it good. It was an 8-iron, Drayton Park Golf Club, where I was head pro, and I was playing with my mum and dad. Out for a couple of casual holes in an evening. Luckily, there was someone on the next tee who saw it go in, so he did give me a little round of applause, one person. It felt the worst hole-in-one in my life, so I need to get a better one, I think. But yeah, at least we've had one.
I know,
At least we've had one. Second question we're going to jump into. This is a bit more of a technical one. So, for you, James, we'll go with, what is your pre-shot routine? So we'll talk about it with a driver. We're here on... The second hole is 460 yards. It's a good driving hole. So talk me through what you would do with a driver. How would you set up to this one? What are your thought processes?
So for me, I'm quite a quick player. I don't like to spend a lot of time over the ball. For me, it's more about visualising the shot and then just following it through. So, for example, if I was on the course here, I could see that it kind of feeds around to the left. So, you know, a little draw would be ideal. But again, I'd spend more time behind the ball trying to find that ball flight.
For anyone who's trying to visualise, and I definitely encourage you to visualise shots, behind the golf ball is the place to do it. And do you try and pick a start point, an end point?
Yeah. I'll also pick something probably 3-4 foot in front of me just to get myself set at a shorter distance. And then for me from there, once I've found the shot I'm looking for, most times I'll sort of set up, make sure I'm comfortable with where that's set up and where my lines are. I'll kind of take one practice swing and then I'll follow it up with the shot.
Okay. That worked perfectly.
Yeah, so you can go, there's that draw, quite a big one it is.
Yeah.
330. So like you can see, I didn't spend much time over the ball. It's more about visualising the shot.
Very little time. I think the key parts really is more time behind the golf ball, less time actually static over the ball, which is what you do pretty well there. So from behind you can do those 2 things, as you said. One is visualising the shot you want to hit. 2 is picking intermediate targets. So some players do it differently. Some players even close their eyes and they try and picture the shot. Some are picking a start point and end point. I think it's fine what works for you, right? Everybody's going to be a little bit different.
See what you find most comfortable.
But less time over, more time behind, definitely picking those intermediate targets. The only bits I do slightly differently, I always struggle with my alignment. So I guess I always aim the club first and then I go into opening my feet apart. But it depends golfer to
Everybody's
golfer,
different, isn't it?
to what's going to suit you a little bit more. Next question we have is going to be how to hit a low punch out the trees.
I'll leave this to John because this is his forte in the trees.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. So let's say, how's that? Yeah. Okay. What have I got? I want to hit it up 60 odd yards back to the fairway. Yeah. You're going to be able to picture this. We'll bring it up on the screen. So I'm going to hit it about 60 yards, which should normally be more of a wedge, right? But I cannot hit a wedge because I'm going to hit tree branches. So I've got to keep this ball pretty low. Again, there's a bit of visualizing in there because I want to see what height I hit certain clubs at. I'm thinking I could play, I've got to carry a fair bit of rough, so I don't think I could be playing a real low lofted iron like a 5-iron, 4-iron. I'm sort of picturing more of a 7-iron, 8-iron, but I am going to then move the ball. I'm going to do a couple of things at setup. So I'm going to grip a little bit lower down the handle. That's going to allow me to stand in closer to the golf ball. I'm going to also move the ball back in my stance so it is behind my sternum, and I'm going to set a little bit more pressure onto my lead foot. So it feels very much like a chip and run, a bump and run to me. So I've gone down the handle, ball back, weight forwards, And then I'm just going to be making, because I'm only trying to hit it 60 yards, this is going to feel like a kind of parallel to parallel type of swing. I guess the key part, if I not hit it long enough, let me have one more go at it. What do I need to fly at? About 50, I guess, don't I? Yeah. Even 40 would do it. Same one, just a little bit longer. That was the right idea. 1 second, I can hit one more. Right. There we go. That was about the yardage I wanted as well, wasn't it? So always, I guess the thing I didn't do, but we are on the simulator, is walk up there, see where you want to fly it to, try and get a gauge on distance. But low punch, we're back into play, aren't we? Draw. Okay, well remembered. So easiest way to hit a draw shot. Let me put you in a place where you can do it.
180, something like that, 185.
If I can keep going back.
Oh, you're making me go over the trees,
line.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's not bad.
Yeah.
It's a bit longer, but you don't have to hit it to the green. It's 205 yards to the flag. But if you went straight at the flag,
straight in the trees,
you'd be at the trees. You'd be hitting the right side of the tree branches. So we've got to be bending this at least 10 yards from right to left. If you don't bend it enough, the bailout here would be front right bunker. So club selection, distance of shot is almost a little bit irrelevant. Yeah. How are we going to hit the draw?
So for me, I like to keep it very simple. Instead of trying to find different swings, for me it's pick my start line where I want the ball to start is where I'm going to aim the club. Again, I'll probably stand behind the ball and find that 2-foot target.
Yeah, absolutely.
From there, I'll make my feet go wider than my club face. So if my club face is there, I want to go further right than that.
Yep.
And then
so that is aim the face a little right.
Yep.
Because that's where we need it to start. That's what most people do wrong. So aim the face a little bit right, and then aim your body further to the right.
And then from there, for me, keep the face in the same position and swing down the feet line.
Swing down your body line. Hey, you must have had a good coach. And ball position, if you moved it back, it looks a bit back. I mean, when you aim more right, it might well go that way.
Yes. So that's one thing to definitely be careful of, is if you're trying to hit a draw but maintain height, just always double check your ball position before you hit it.
Perfect. Hey, on a string. Might just be front edge.
Oh, just short.
But perfect shot shape. We're going to use it. That started right at target. It bent and it's finishing more on target line. And actually, that's a much easier place to get up and down from.
Yes, from the front right trap.
From the front right trap. But that was a perfect little draw. About that 10 yards we discussed. I'm happy with that. Yep. I'm going to take this one. Just pop me somewhere close to a green. This was a question of why do I thin my wedges? I don't know, 40 odd yards. You can just right hand click on the screen, anyway like that, perfect. So the distance irrelevant. This is a question, why do I thin my wedges? I would say one of the most common reasons is golfers trying to keep their head down, and then their body's in the way, and then the arms tend to fold because they're going to fat it, they're going to catch it heavy from there. They tend to then try and bring their arms upwards. So actually this is going to be a bit strange. You're worried about thinning it. I'm going to ask you to focus on your head moving up and forwards. So rotating and rising. And that allows room for your arms to extend. And the only other little point I want to put in there is less tension, so lighter with grip pressure. So I'm going to hit a little 40-yard pitch. I'm going to focus on real soft arms, and my head is actually going to be moving up and forwards. Okay, it's going to take a bit of getting used to if you've never done it before. So my head moving up and forwards. I don't know if I've got the right length. Oh yeah. Oh, not bad. So head was going up and forwards. It allowed room for my arms to extend, and I felt really soft and light with grip pressure. What was our last question?
Should I play a driving iron hybrid?
Okay, what do you do?
I play irons all the way through, so I'm driving iron. For me, my swing speed kind of pace of the ball allows me to get quite good progression. And I find, from my personal experience, that a two iron for me will give more versatility around shot type. So for me, if I need to hit a draw or a fade or a low to high, or for me, I find I'm better with a two iron than a high.
I think you're right there, and it depends a little bit on swing speed. So hard hitters might well get away more with the driving iron because they can still flight it high enough, bring it down if they want to. I carry both, and they're both threes, but they go slightly different distances. So although they're similar loft, I hit my hybrid further than the 3-iron driving iron. It is a bit longer in shaft length. I also hit my hybrid higher. So I use that to hit a little bit longer, but also when I want to flight it more up, and I hit my driving iron when I want to keep it lower. So if you're a high hitter or a hard hitter, I'd say and you only wanted to carry one, I'd say the driving iron's fine.
And for me, I'd probably say, if you're not the best or you're new to the game or you're kind of getting into golf, it's much harder to strike a driving iron than it is to strike a hybrid.
Yes.
It's
yeah. The hybrids, there's a bit more head there to look at. There's somewhere between an iron and a wood, obviously hence the name. The only little thing to say with the hybrids is play them as an iron. They're an iron replacement. Don't think of them as woods. Play it as an iron. But I'd definitely say the hybrids are easier to get up in the air and a little bit more user-friendly. And the driving iron, if you're a better player, you hit it hard, or you want to shape the ball a little bit more, it's going to be easier with the driving iron than the hybrid.
Yeah.
We don't need to demonstrate those ones, do we? Hopefully that answers your questions. That's a quick 6-fire questions. Now, James is... your sort of neck of the woods is really the fitness side of golf. So we're thinking we're going to film a few more of these. So perhaps if you've got some questions you'd like to fire at us that might have something more to do with fitness and golf, or stretching, mobility, power. But it can be other questions in there about
anything
how to play
you want to see
shots.
us do. Anything golf related, from shot types to what we've done in the game.
Yeah,
fire ahead.
Put some comments below. It's a great way to get in touch. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'll also put the info here for James on his social media, so make sure you check him out there as well. Cheers, guys. We'll see you again next time.